Good evening and welcome back. I'm Teddy, and you are listening to Night Talk. It's 11 o'clock and it's September 20th. So come on in and join me for a little bit of music right now until I decide, I don't know if I want to talk really that much tonight. It's called Night Talk, but on a Saturday, yeah, I can always talk about something, but for now, I'm just going to sit back, play a little music, and then if it comes to me, then I'll talk. Well, that was really smooth, wasn't it? Really smooth. Let me just turn this down before it goes into the next song or track. I have in front of me, it's just over 3 hours, maybe 3 hours and 15 minutes of smooth jazz from a different long play tracks that I have. I could just play it on and just relax. Yeah, by the fireplace and listen to music. I was looking at the name Unwind with Teddy. Yes, yes. I've been told that I copied Tasha K's name because I wanted to be like Tasha K. I'm nothing like Tasha K. No, I'm really not. Even when I started my channel, the only thing that was similar was my name. I'm Mima Teddy, and yes, I did get inspiration from that. I've never denied it. No, I've never tried to be Tasha K. No, I don't sound like Tasha K. My platform wasn't modeled after her because it was all music at first, just all music. It was relaxing music, and that's how it started off. Everything was based on Unwind with Teddy, right? Soothing and relaxing sound. I used to put that up as my banner. Soothing and relaxing. From day one, just music. Because I thought, yeah, that's what unwind can be. Unwind with relaxing, music. Yeah. And I would make just, again, just music videos. No talking, just music for a period of time. And then I started communicating with my audience. It was, videos in the format. I type things out or, have words, no voice. As I was developing my channel and getting familiar with, editing, how I would create videos. And the more I did it, the more comfortable it became and the more I learned. There's a huge learning curve with starting a YouTube channel. Bless your heart if you have someone who can help you and show you from day one, because that can help make it a lot easier. Yeah. But when you're first starting off, if you don't know anything about making YouTube videos and where to go, how to start, there's a lot of just time that is invested. It could be just one thing that you're looking for all day long. I'm talking about you could spend 8 hours just trying to figure out how to, center your name and make it fade and reappear and be put on a timeline, literally. Again, without someone who can help you. Even if you search for videos and you can find them, but there are so many you don't know what is. the best one to use. So you try this one and that one, and finally you figure it out. Yeah. But pictures like I show here, video of a fireplace, all the videos that I put up that I get, they're fair use and free to use. But no one sends them to me. I have to select them, right? And so everyone that you see, it is a reflection of what I wanted this um, platform to represent, because that represents who I am. You know, relaxing, elegance. This is my style. My style has not changed. And if anything, it's gotten more refined. Yeah. So that's my personal touch. Yeah. Going live. I didn't do that. Of course, you can't go live on YouTube until you have so many watch hours and subscribers. At that time, you needed 1,000 subscribers. And I think it was 4,000 watch hours before you go live. And it wasn't until I believe it was June of 2021, maybe May, June, something like that, end of May, beginning of June, that I was able to go live. You know, when I think about that, would that have been 2021? Yeah. I started in 2020. 2021, the summer of 2021. That's right. It was all that, unmasking the avatar. So I do remember I went live. I was trying to figure out how to go live and got some help doing that. But that's where I spent my time. That's how I spent my time. And I remember just me sometimes, just music. Darlene would be there. hmm Lunch and learns or whatever during that summer. And there was Lisa and lots of trolls. That's it. My audience to begin with was just a couple of my moderators and trolls for a period of time. And I remember we were happy if trolls showed up. But then I didn't know. I really didn't know that trolls were, these. I didn't know much about trolls. I did. Yeah. I think I was more entertaining for them than they were for me. Yeah. I play music for the trolls. I did. I even wrote a song for one of the trolls. It was Chicken Legs. I don't expect any of you to remember that, because I don't think any of you were around when I made that. And as it turns out, that was Unwind with Chicken Legs. Now, I don't remember their name initially. I think it was just Chicken Legs. And then this individual changed it to Unwind with Chicken Legs. hmm And I had trolls that would come in, and there was Unwind with this one or Unwind with that one. I had lots of unwinds come in as trolls. Yeah. And I thought it was funny. I did. Yeah. And I remember that there was this one troll named Mr. Detroit. Now, that one I could remember. There were others, but there was Mr. Detroit, kind of mysterious, intriguing because maybe their avatar looked kind of, this, if I can remember, was a guy in a, is it called a fedora? A hat? Yeah. And I think he had on dark glasses. I think that was Mr. Detroit. Yeah. And I play my music. And I didn't feel not one sense of trepidation or anything like that. Just peaceful. I didn't realize they were trolls. I called them trolls, but I didn't know really what they were up to. I think they were just a distraction now that I think about it, so that I wouldn't watch all of the everything that was going on with the unmasking the avatar and more of the nosy old live videos. I just didn't watch it. Gosh, I missed out. Real time. Again, I knew about it, but I was too busy. I was new going live. And yeah. And my channel was growing. Because when you think about it, I started, it would have been, I'll say, October 2020 for real, really started, I guess, end of September, October. And by the time May came around, May, June, I had 1,000 subscribers. Is that what I had? I would have had to have had 1,000. I believe that was the requirement. What I didn't realize is I could have gone live earlier. I think I just didn't know that. You just get on StreamYard and go live. Yeah. So I may have said I couldn't go live until you have 1,000 subscribers. I don't think that you can't be monetized until you had 1,000 subscribers and so many watch hours. So I may have misspoken. But for me, I didn't go live until I had, I believe, that many subscribers. Yeah. Right. Another thing I was doing, I was actually playing movie clips, real movies. Yeah. I was I was playing movies. I sure was. I didn't know. I did. I didn't even realize that I could have possibly been struck for playing movies. Yeah. Not really. Wow. 23 minutes, and I've talked about that. More music, or should I look at the chat? Yeah. So, what's on your mind tonight, and what have I missed today? You see, what have I missed? What's in this sector? Any sector news? This breaking news? Anything? Let's do it like this. Let me see who's in the chat. Of course, my moderators and all of you. Some folks out in the bushes. If I could change one thing, so I'm just asking a question, not to you, but to me, thinking about my channel. If I could change one thing, and let me just jump right to it, I would have gone live with my, just come on live. Just as I am. And I was actually prepared to do that. Yeah. And it would have been around the time just before I had started a couple of times playing my piano. Yeah, I did that a few times in the background, live. And then things changed. Yeah. Would it have been different? I don't know. That part would have been different. Yes, it would have been different. What I mean, would I be in the place that I am today with the history behind me and what has gone on? I don't know. Who's to say? But I wish that I would have done that. And now, I mean, people know how I look. And the only thing really that holds me back, honestly, I mean, really, is until I get a resolution with the courts and know that an accountability for using my photos in deep fake pornography. That's what I don't want to give her an opportunity. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I know. Have I ever told you that? Yeah. That's really it. Because before all this started, I was I wanted to go live, yeah, for my audience and not have to be you know, coming on with an avatar all the time. Yeah. I really never thought I was going to be an avatar this long. No, no. I want to be able to have, my background and yeah, turn on my camera, take walks. Yeah, all of that. Go around the city, just do things. Make it super interesting. At least I thought. And of course, I've told my audience. Well, I've said that I have some plans for something I do. And here we are. It's September the 20th, 2025. I thought I'd be further down the road by now. Life is unpredictable on YouTube. Well, life is unpredictable, period. There's things that you can plan for, but that's all you can do is plan your best plans. But then there's things that can change your plans. Right? Why am I talking about this tonight? Because you never know what you're going to get on this channel. Just what I feel like talking about. Mm-hmm. So what have I missed? What's the what's going on today? Anything? Any news in our sector? That would be that I can talk about without making just in a basic kind of a way. Anything? Any comments? Any suggestions? Boy, maybe I shouldn't ask any questions, although I'm asking questions. What is this fake bot? I'm looking right at the very bottom, allegedly. We've got cups, okay. One before that, fake bot gate. All right. People buying bots. Yeah, Maggie was talking about that yesterday. Mm-hmm. Everything takes time, and you have to do it when you're ready. That's true. This one is new. Damaged Kisses. That's an interesting name. Welcome to the Bear Cave. It's not me. Walk chats sound nice. I know, fun. I'd walk along in my neighborhood while turning in. Yeah. Baby Juju. After All About the Tea, the streets were flooded with avatars more than usual. I think you're correct. It seems that, yes, more people were just, on the mic. And after that, that's a good observation. Avatars everywhere. Yeah. Yes, abuse of my image, cowards and likeness. Yes, I protect my likeness for that reason. Yeah, for someone just putting up my picture, that's something different, but using my picture in that way when I know that's their intent. Mhm. It, yeah. You can support the channel by hitting the like. And we have 28 listening or watching. Yeah. Let's see. You appreciate my channel. I'm glad you're here. Damaged kisses. I hang out in the bushes a lot. Okay. Since joining. You, you know what? I have gotten emails from people over the years who said they have, never come into the chat. They appreciate the music or conversation, and they just wanted to let me know. Fine. I appreciate that. Social Blade Gate. I wonder what Blade has to say. I'm still working out the kinks using that, at least going live in that way. Yes. I'll get it refined. When I do, uh-oh. Yeah. I missed some tea. What did I miss? Now that's facts. Never judge a book by its cover. Never. That's interesting. But I can't really tell you that I really know that. What I mean by know that or recall that in Baby Juju, just in case you're not looking at the screen, says, Teddy, I thought you weren't sure about me because of where I came from. Hear her TV. I didn't really remember that. No, I don't think I was focused on that. You've been around. You've been around for a while because you seem to know much about what happened during 2021. That's summer. Yeah, let me put my fireplace up. Let's do like the reverse. Well, then I cover myself. There we go. You won't find a video, I'm telling you. When Hear Her TV first started, and when I first began listening to her, I liked her. I didn't know. Even if she was not, I don't know. I just didn't have anything that I don't know, it's just unusual. I just liked to hear her. I liked her format, and I liked listening to her. I didn't listen often, but when I did, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Even when she thought I was somebody else, I guess. I just never talked about her. Not on my platform. I might have said something behind the scenes. Yeah. When she started her talking about those emails. Yes, that's what it would have been. Yeah. In beginning of 2022. Yeah. It's looking back. It's looking back. It all makes sense. Why, on some level, why she thought, the way she did, and I think it's wise to question. And I were, you know, if I were more familiar with things, I would have asked more questions. And she just asked a lot of questions. Um, she just didn't. She was more, I guess you could say, skeptical of people. Yeah, like you would really have to prove things to hear her. That's yeah. She just didn't accept on the first try. No, no, she would like want to hear more. Very inquisitive. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. Not at all. Not at all. And she was open, and people would come on her panel. That's a good way to put it. Hear her wasn't easily convinced. Thank you. Not at all. Yeah. Wherever she is. Yeah. And I enjoyed her coming up on my panel. Yeah. For a while. Yeah, she was made many appearances. And during that time, there were a handful that I felt comfortable. And yeah, that was fun because I never really had panels. But it was nice. And Jennifer would come around and he'd be on the panel, and um, Midwest used to come on a lot with Hear Her. And then let's see, what was her name? She was from Hear Her's. Let's see, I can't remember her name. Oh, Essence. The Essence. And there were a few others. Yeah. There were a few others. Yeah. I think I still have some trolls from way back. I can say way back for me is 4 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, they're around. Let's see. Baby Juju said, I love that she called them all out. It was needed at that time. What's this, Vicky? Hear her would always say they was on her. Yes. Okay, so this is the T, or uh, they didn't want Kimmy loading robots' social blade info into Chat GPT. So QT popped in to turn the combo to Val and Pam. All right. Let's see. I I did see a thumbnail like the robot or something with what was it called? Uh, well, I can't even remember. I just remember the thumbnail had a robot picture on it. Okay, I'll have to look at it. Yeah, let me go back. Now, where are you guys? Here we are. She was having too much fun with that. Yeah, I saw just when I look at things, it's like about for a minute. Yeah, especially if I'm out because I've been out most of the day. After I was online. Yeah. I didn't make it to the cider mill. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Yeah. Ended up doing some other things. Just couldn't squeeze it all in because of the time that I got out. Yeah. But mm. So Tulsa, yeah, you always have to be. I would always be. No, wait a minute. If I start talking about anybody, I better just read comments. I'd have to go and really look. Okay. So I can make sure I'm not saying something that didn't happen. Yeah. And some troll panelists as well. Yeah. Yes. Yes, we did have troll panelists. Yes, at least two. Yeah. I don't know about what Hear Her has been up to. I imagine, but I can't be certain on this. Jennifer and Hear Her were close. So they probably talk. They definitely would talk more than I would. So Jennifer would know. I think. Yeah. And Jennifer, you can come by. I'm not uh, I'm not upset. I'm not mad at you. I understand. And if people want to know what that's about, uh, right after the death of Charlie Kirk, I said some things, not anything adverse, really. I just, talked about Charlie Kirk and gave my initial, reaction, and it was what it was. Yeah. And yeah, Jennifer uh, was in the chat and just made it known that, yeah, I didn't know if it was while I'm talking about Charlie Kirk or for all time's sake, if whether or not I, they wouldn't visit anymore because of what Charlie Kirk was said to support or say or do. And I get it. People can have a difference of opinion. And when it comes to politics, religion, and especially if someone is seen as just a racist, and I have never called Charlie Kirk racist because I I can't speak to that specifically. I can't. I've listened to very little, but I have listened to some of his. Yeah. And other things. I'm not prepared to say it on my platform. No, I'm not. I said I would I want to hear um, both sides. I want to hear what he has to say and his position. Now he's gone. I was watching one of his videos the morning that he was killed. Yeah, before he was. I don't know. Yeah, I was watching one of his videos. Came up in my feed. And I had been watching his videos and others for probably, a few months. Yeah. But you're welcome, Jennifer. And I don't think there's anything. It's not personal, not really. I think it's just on principle, and I get it. And certainly, if a person is offended and they have good reason to be, and things have been said, I would feel the same way. I haven't heard everything. And so I didn't know enough yet to make that kind of any kind of statement other than talking about what he was doing on campus and talking to the youth and learning more about it and his religious he had strong Christian beliefs. And I will just say a lot of the questions that he received, the ones that I've watched, the videos that I've watched, and I've seen other remarks, but I'm just a lot of his responses, he'd use scripture and he'd sit there and people would come up, young adults, anyone could come to the mic and just ask him questions. And his whole thing was prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Yeah. And I liked his approach to speaking. I did. It was calm. Mhm. He seemed open to dialogue. That's my impression. Yeah. No matter who you were, you could come up to the mic. Yeah. And this is my opinion. I don't support any violence, political violence, any kind of violence. And so when that happened, I think I was first thinking about, geez, he's a family, he's a father, husband, children. Wow. And the more I learn, the more I want to know. I want to learn. He inspired a lot of people. And yes, he's said a lot too. I think it was almost like, I don't think he called himself a preacher. No. But he's spoken in, it appeared, maybe churches and schools and other venues. And I remember watching a video where there was this young man came up and said, with the big sign, you're racist. Okay. So Charlie said, like, right? Basically, why? Tell me. And by the time the few minutes pass, I think the young man took his sign and put it down and put his head down and kind of walked away. He didn't. Because he couldn't point to or show. Yes, he kept saying, come on, prove me wrong. Be specific. Come on, come on. Well, that could have been just that one person. Hmm. No, I didn't start talking about Charlie. Oh, because I was talking about Jennifer. Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow's his memorial service. State Farm Stadium, Arizona. Over 100,000 people expected to attend. I won't be covering it, live or anything. I don't think so. It's going to be after 2:00 because I don't think I'd have very many people even interested in watching it on this platform. I will probably be listening in because I want to. I want to at least um, see some of it, see and or hear some of it. Yeah, I do. Am I am I overwhelmed by the death of Charlie Kirk? No, I'm not sitting here overwhelmed. I didn't know him in that way. Not where I'm overwhelmed. No. But tonight, not tonight, well, today, while I was out, I was talking to a guy, and one of his friends that was a mentor on, I'll just say, on one of the um, college campuses here in Michigan, so I won't say which one. Just so happened he was there. He happened to be in Phoenix. He said a close friend of his was only, less than 6 feet away from Charlie Kirk when he was shot. Wow. He was telling me about it. It's right there. And this isn't the first time I've had a conversation with them. So I wouldn't call this person a stranger. Mm-mm. And he was telling me about it. Yeah. The perspective that I'm looking through, and I said this, it's more of a, it would be more his faith-based, Christian-based. That's the way. And if you don't understand that, you just don't. And I get it. Yeah. Every man has to answer for himself. What is that? Let me see. Van Jones. Let me see if I can bring that up. Van Jones. Van Jones received an email. I think it was an email phone call from Charlie Kirk the night before he got killed. He was trying to get in touch with Van Jones. They had a recent back and forth. They strongly disagreed. Van Jones said he strongly disagreed with Charlie Kirk. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is. I don't know. Let's see. Van Jones shows the message Charlie Kirk sent him one day.
Attend, including President Trump. His murder and some unexpected outreach that Kirk made the day before his death have resonated with our CNN colleague Van Jones. The story begins when a Ukrainian woman was fatally stabbed last month in North Carolina. The suspect is a black man, and Charlie Kirk and Van got into a public sparring match online.
All right, so you hear that. That's what it was about. They were talking about that young woman who was brutally, unalived in North Carolina. Everybody heard about that story. That was the big story before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I'm going to say that. Killed, assassinated. Maybe it comes across better or worse for some people. All right, let me continue. This is Anderson Cooper, CNN. This is for education, criticism, news reporting. Let's hear it.
Kirk claimed the murder happened because she was white. Van denounced that as completely unfounded. Kirk then sent out what Van calls a fire hose of tweets challenging his argument, which Van says sparked death threats against him. In the midst of all of this, Kirk reached out to Van in a direct message on X. Hey, Van, I mean it. I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about the issues agreeably. Now, that message was sent on September 9th. Van says he did not see it until the very next day after Kirk was murdered. Van Jones just wrote a piece about this for CNN.com and is here tonight. This is extraordinary. So this was received the day before he was killed.
Yeah. Look, we were beefing. We were going at it online, on air. And then after he died, after he was murdered, my team called and said, Van, he was trying to reach you, man. What? And what was he doing? Dialogue. Let's be gentlemen together. He says, let's disagree agreeably. So I'm sitting on this and I'm watching the whole country talk about civil war, censorship, justifying murder about this guy. This guy is reaching out to his mortal enemy saying, we need to be gentlemen and sit down together and disagree agreeably. And the next day he's killed. And I
need to open my mic. So this man, Charlie Kirk, Van Jones, who was disagreeing vehemently with him. No, he didn't agree with everything. He didn't agree with very little of anything. But it was his approach. Civil. Reaching out. Listen to what Vance said that he put in the letter.
I've sat on it long enough, and I just said, you know what? We're going to Memorial Weekend for this man. We disagree. Everybody knows we were not friends, okay, at all. But you praise the good when it's time to memorialize somebody. And what he did, and I didn't even know it, was good. He was not for censorship. He was not for civil war. He was not for violence. He was for dialogue, open debate and dialogue, even with me. Even with me.
If, would you have gone on his show? Would you have done
look, I would have probably tried to get him on your show. I wasn't trying to build this platform, but I would have called him, we would have talked, and we would have started the process of trying to figure this stuff out. And I think what happens is people get so worked up, Anderson, seeing us go at it, they think they're supposed to go out and kill somebody. or go out and talk about civil war, or go out and silence people, or cancel people, or fire people, or censor people. About Charlie Kirk, Mr. Debate, I did not agree with him on literally almost anything. But
Mr. Debate. Mr. Debate. Now, this is Van Jones. Van Jones. You know how passionate Van Jones is about issues, especially issues that affect Black Americans. Well, he should be. But listen.
But we were words, not weapons, guys. We were words, not weapons, guys.
Words, not weapons. Words, not weapon.
And we were getting into a position where we could get some real debate going, whether it's going to be on CNN or on his show. That wasn't worked out, but I would have taken him up. I wanted to beat Charlie Kirk in a debate. I didn't want somebody to shoot him.
You want to take it up. You want to beat someone in a debate. That's what it was, a debate. Open. Challenge. An opportunity to discuss. Even if you are on the opposing side, that's what debate is. Isn't it?
That's how we do it in America. And the idea that now people on both sides are justifying murders and calling for civil wars, we got to calm this down, Anderson. We need to calm this down. We need to lower the temperature. Yes, we disagree, but like he said, we can disagree agreeably. That's his last words to me. Let's disagree agreeably. We should take that spirit into the Memorial Weekend for this guy.
You also wrote that in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murders, Americans have a choice. They can choose more violence, more outrage, more censorship, or a different way. It's similar to what the governor in Utah, Spencer Cox, has said in recent days.
Yeah, look, he's a Republican. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. I'm a strong Democrat. We have a choice now. This could be the beginning of us getting off of this pathway, but the pathway we're on, Anderson, is scary. It's about more violence. It's about more retribution. It's about more censorship. It's about more of everything that nobody wants, but we can't seem to get off of it. Charlie Kirk in his last message to me was pointing a way out. Civil discourse, civil dialogue, debate. Let's disagree agreeably. If you want to get off this train, we can do it this weekend.
Disagree agreeably. Civil debate, discord, or civil discord. Yes. And I do see your comment. Yes. When I get to that point, and I'm sure I will, when I get more videos or footage and I can talk about them, I will. Do you know that I think a big YouTuber just got demonetized, if I'm not mistaken, for some things that this individual said that didn't land so well with YouTube. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm, of course, I'm going to be cautious as well, right? We have rights in this country. Freedom of speech is one of them. I don't know if freedom of speech includes inciting. If you can deliberately do that to incite. If you know, I don't think so, but I don't. I think when all of this is, when after the memorial, uh, things will probably just tamp down a little bit. I hope. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'll read a few more comments. You see how quickly it is? It's 12:09. Um, trigger warning for mature audiences only. Let's flip this back here. No. There we go. That um, Candace, yes. Ooh. Um, you're surprised they haven't taken her down yet. I'm surprised. I am surprised. A few things that I heard her say, I was like, it um, it did make me say, whoa, like wow. I don't know. I don't know. Candace has been saying a lot. Yes, she has been. And I think a lot of that is I don't want to start saying emotional and this and that. It's she's grieving, but it's coming across now. It's the more videos she does, I'm still watching her. I am. I am. And she showed one of this guy removing the camera that was above Charlie Kirk. This is, I don't know. Yeah. And she wanted, and she did eventually get him to, I guess, show her part of the footage. I don't know, something like that. She talked about. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so that's why I keep turning away from the mic. Yeah, but especially things that she's been saying around um, the Prime Minister of Israel. It's very controversial. Um, yes, that picture, the Yahoo Man letter. Yeah, seems like a setup. You think? Hmm. I did question how would someone were they not? I mean, for someone to get the camera that was right above him, did they not have secure the area? That was the first thing I thought about when I saw the footage that she showed. People in the media spreading lies. There's lots of conspiracy. Oh, it's just all over the map right now. And Charlie Kirk hasn't even been laid to rest. I mean, it's just, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. I think Van Jones said up. He said enough for now, for tonight. Okay. Let's see. She said it was not something on the back of him. Oh, yes, yes, yes. She did say that the exit, there wasn't an exit wound that was seen. So, more of a theory that it would have lodged in him. Now, whether or not that's being reported, I don't know. I don't know. Yes, she's certainly creating such a stir. I mean, a lot of there's some people that are really upsetting at Candace right now. Yes, some people that are bigger than her. Yes, to them, she's like a nobody. Yeah, at least the way I heard it put. Like, wow. Mhm. But the way she called out his pastor, that was, I think that's really the only thing for me right now. Like, she told his pastor to be quiet. To be quiet. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk's pastor. She said, I'm going to have to ask you to be quiet. Like, whoa, that's his pastor. That was the only thing for me, really. Yeah. Uh, I was thinking out of respect. Yeah, but that's just me. All comments are allegedly, allegedly. Yeah. Yes, they are tearing her up. Yes, they are. And some are saying she is more, appears to be, at least, initially, but right now she's moved to a different phase. I mean, she is intense. She wants to get to the truth because she thinks there's more to this story. And I I don't doubt that could be the case. But she's closer to all of this than probably any of us, right? But um, her reaction, some are saying, uh, you know, I don't even want to start any rumors. I don't even want to carry anything further. I'm just, yeah. I don't think she's planning to attend the memorial service tomorrow, and I was surprised by that. I was surprised by that. Yeah. She's not planning to be there. Hmm. But that's you know everybody deals with grief. Didn't I say everybody deals with grief differently? Mm, they're Catholic. Her husband and her are Catholic. Hello, sunset. Hello. You think there's more to the story? I do too. She's fighting. You think she's fighting the this is the way that she can fight through the her emotions coming out, because they're coming out right now just like this. Yeah, she said that was her friend. They were close, and she's gonna get to the bottom of it. She's doing her own investigation, and yes, um, she needs to be careful, and she probably has protection. I don't know. I don't know. a lot of people are rethinking their, safety, security. I mean, there was a guy that's been arrested today that I was reading about, and he was posing as, I believe, some type of police officer, and they arrested him near the stadium, the venue where this memorial is taking place tomorrow. He had weapons and a knife. Hmm. So we'll see. All right. Well, she said she is in vengeance and anger, which are stages of grief. Yes. There are, I believe it's like 6 stages, 5 or 6 stages. Yeah. Depending on who you model after. There's five. I thought it was right. 5 stages of grief. Hmm. All right, I'm going to look at my email right now, just quickly. I think I'm good. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Okay. All right. So, for those of you who are in the bushes and like to send emails, I'm looking at one. Someone's asking about an NDA being mentioned in a comment about an NDA. Tulsa making a comment. Did anyone see that today? Oh, they sent a little screenshot. Wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I know it's getting late. Hang on, guys. Let's just put up a cover. I'd like to see if that's what they sent. Mm. So Queen Tulsa made a post saying, "I did sign a NDA, not today." It seems I've heard about that. I All right. So something about Tulsa said She signed an NDA or a NDA. Mhm. Not going to put it up, that post. Let me just take this cover off. Few things. A few things. Okay. All right. So, response, anyone? Response. She said she signed one. Again, I thought the NDA signing was a lie. No? Question mark. It came from Tulsa. Does that mean it could be? Is it worth the paper you write? Um, are you convinced? Who would can Tulsa show the corner of an NDA? Like something, or is that like a myth? Is that a myth? And what are they signing? Who did they sign an NDA to protect? Information or what? Let's see. I have no idea. I haven't even looked. Question about the Shaky Jag Troll series. Is it still going on? I have no idea. None. Oh, okay. You know what? That that seems more likely than not. Her excuse to keep lying. Yeah. Remember, how does Tulsa come across? Not. Do people take Tulsa serious? Didn't we talk about this the other day? Or at least the impression. It's just Tulsa being Tulsa. It's Sunday. All right, one or two more comments, then we're gonna wrap this up. It's almost 12:30. I guess not, Cups. They are trying to run reruns, but the series and saga are dead. Exactly. Okay. All right. We are going to leave it at that. You can email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. But now it's time to say goodnight. Biggest bear hugs go out to the Grizzlies and the Honey Bears. Catch me sometime tomorrow if I come on. I do plan to come on, but yeah. All right. That will do it for me. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Good night.